All right, we're going to give this a little bit of time for people to get on here. Got my iPad set up over here so I can see the comments and stuff. We'll give it a minute. We're going to talk today about some Rockler stuff that I was able to snag up. Let's give it a little bit of time for some people to get in here. All right, how's this sounding? Sure, my mic here is working. All right, how's this sounding? All right, nobody on here yet, so of course I didn't plan this. I didn't set up a live or schedule it, so we'll I guess we'll just see how this goes. See if some people jump in here. We got 28 people. So I live up in Maine, and I've always wanted a Rockler store near us. We live in Bangor, and I've always thought, how cool would it be if there was a Rockler store right here in Bangor? Well, luckily there is not, because so we have to go about 2.5 hours south of here to Portland, Maine, to hit up a Rockler store. And I went finally today, and I am gonna go through what I picked up at Rockler. I'm not going to be doing any turning tonight because I'm drinking. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in here. Some of the things that I've been turning lately, it looks like a table leg, but I kind of used it as like a mallet. So I wanted to. This is the first thing I ever turned on a lathe. I need a moderator. I got a bunch of. And then I made this little mallet. So I used the lathe to turn rectangular stock into being rounded on the edges, gave it a little shape profile, fit my hand good, so I could tap together half blind dovetails, stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing with that. Hey, Johnny's Lathe Crafts, how we doing? Yeah, no smoking. Okay. Have a nice night then. See ya. All right, so I got this bag of stuff. That I picked up from Rockler. I'm going to wait until a couple more people get in here, and then we'll start digging through what I picked up at Rockler today. Some of my other plans for the lathe while we're waiting on that. So, like I said, I made this little mallet, and my plan was to leave the center squared and have it start rounding as it got closer to the edges. So I have another piece I'm going to do that with tomorrow using some of the tools that I got from Rockler today, as well as make another handle. Hoping some other people jump in here, some of the actual subscribers to my channel, but we'll see. So, first thing out of the bag. Picked up a bowl blank. It's figured maple. It's grade A, not AA or AAA. It's just A. It'll be my first bowl that I'm going to turn, so I'm going to try this out and see if I can actually make a bowl out of this chunk of wood. This was about $7. So if I can turn a really nice bowl out of this, it's relatively cheap. So, and then the wife wanted these, so they're measuring spoons, and I get to turn the handles. It comes with the inserts to put into the handle, and then the handle screws into it. So that should be fun. If those come out nice, they'll be, you know, good Christmas gift ideas. And then she also wanted the matching measuring cups, so we're going to do that. See if I can turn some of the sapele that I have into nice handles. I have some cherry, some oak, so we'll see what that turns into. And then I bought the Rockler Beginner's Pen Turning Kit. So I'm really excited to get into this. I see a lot of guys turning pens. 77 Rockets, the Whack and Shack, just tons of people. My honey's handmade, so I want to get into turning pens. What I need to get first, before I can use this, is a chuck for the tailstock on my lathe. I don't have one currently, so I can't drill the hole down through the middle, but getting one tomorrow, so that's that. Then I stepped up to carbide cutting tools. Pretty excited about this set. I talked to a couple folks down at Rockler, and they recommended this. It's a mini carbide turning tool, 3-piece set, but the length of them is just about perfect. I should be able to do anything I want to with these. Minus maybe some deep bowls. So it's got the square, the rounded, and the pointed. Of course, it also comes with the tool so I can flip those carbide tips around. So really excited to use these. I was very frustrated with the Harbor Freight set that I had bought originally. So I think these will be a welcome addition. And should really help out my wood turning skills. And then with that, I bought the carbide cutter honing system to hone those tips. And the last thing I got was some CA glue. This was in the turning section at Rockler. We'll see how it works out. It's also the same brand, I believe, that was in the pen turning kit. So let's open this up, see what we got. Yeah. Same. Stick fast, instant CA adhesive. Let's see what we got in this box. Okay. Looks like, I don't know, all the, I don't know what those are. I have to read the instructions, I guess. Part of the mandrel system, I'm sure. Hopefully one of those guys will, somebody will jump on here and tell me what those are for. And then the pen insert pieces. A couple of blanks. Olive wood. Rockler, my local Rockler also had a really nice selection of blanks, whether it's small blanks for pens or bigger blanks for handles, for things like the measuring cups. Olive wood, beautiful. And then bloodwood and rosewood. So those should be nice. There's the mandrel, so all the pieces go on there. This should be fun. Should be fun. Comes with a slimline pen kit, as well as, two slimline pen kits. 3. So, yep, should be fun. Should be fun. So if you're into wood turning, and leave me a comment down below, what kind of, do you prefer the traditional tools or the carbide tools? And if you have carbide tools, do you still occasionally use a skew or a rough and gouge? How do you do it? No comments coming in. 8 people watching. I'm okay with that. It'll come once I start doing lives, actually turning stuff like some of the other guys are doing. The views should come, and I'll probably try to make it a lot more scheduled, I guess. Use mainly carbide. So I had asked them at Rockler if I still needed a rough and gouge. And they said, no, you just use the square carbide one. It works better than a rough and gouge. Do you find that to be the case, Johnny? But you practice with traditional, yeah, that makes sense. I practice with all of it because I'm not very good at it. Like I said, I've made a couple of things. I made a little container with a fitted lid out of some square stock. That was pretty good, but it's very small. It's not very intricate, not very detailed. So I'm still practicing. I probably should have scheduled this live so people would have known about it a little bit in advance. Oh, okay. I didn't. I would have probably grabbed the square first, not thinking to just grab the round one. But I mean that it really makes sense. Do you was this a waste of money? They had recommended this to me, this honing system for the carbide tips. Joni, is that something that you use? You found use with it, or is it kind of a waste of money? Oh, I appreciate the post in the Instagram. That's pretty awesome. I haven't done much for videos lately. Um, okay, you do use a honing system. That's awesome. Yeah, and we were doing some lives. My wife and I have done some lives together. We've done, um, a bunch of videos and a bunch of lives, but pretty much all summer we've just been kind of hanging out. I've been watching a lot of guys, and I got really discouraged with all of the, five top sellers. I'm not knocking those people. People actually, make stuff and sell it, and that's awesome. And I do the same thing, but it seemed to be um, way too much clickbait for me, and I don't know. So I kind of backed away from making videos, but we're back into it now. So I got to get my shop back in order. You can see behind me, it's cluttered up with shit. Yeah, Johnny, I've seen you around in the chats too. And I've done, we did a couple of lives with 77 Rockets and Whack and Shack on their Saturday nights. My wife and I did that. Um, and we've done a bunch of videos we're into everything: laser engraving, 3D printing, anything to make something. Um, I don't know. So we've done quite a few videos, pretty random uh, niche, if you will. So, and I figured this was a perfect opportunity. I just came back from Rockler, and I figured before I pulled anything out of the bag, I might as well hit go live and see what came of it. So, pretty cool. I can't wait to use these. They've got like a rubber handle. Feel like they're very well made. I'm, I'm really not going to know if they're not well made. I bought the Harbor Freight ones and they are not well made. So, but yeah, I feel like this is going to be pretty good. Now, Johnny, can I use this um, triangular one, the pointed carbide? Can I use that as a parting tool, or should I still have a separate parting tool? It's one thing I'm not sure of. Yeah, I'm trying to get into doing pens. I've seen so many different versions of pens and people's different uh, take on them, whether they're bigger and chunkier. And God, you can do anything you want with a pen. So I think that it's good practice to really get the fine tuning of what you're trying to shape, by doing pens. So I think that'd be fun. And I saw, um, God, who did this the other day? Timber Designs doing the CA glue, I think, and it looked like glass. It was either him or 77 Rockets. I don't remember. So yeah, I have another parting tool. I'll just have to sharpen it up. It's the one I got from Harbor Freight, but it works. So yeah, yeah. This CA glue, I already had um, Instant Bond with the activator. I figured I'd buy this. I've still got some activators, so um, we'll see how that works as a finish on the pens. And speaking of finish, Rockler had obviously a big display of Rubio. Man, that stuff. Man, that stuff is expensive. And And you use Stick Fast. Yep, that's what this is Stick Fast. Does it dry pretty clear? This is the medium. So we'll see how it works out. I've never used CA glue as a finish before. That's something new to me. So. And I'm going to see, like I said, I've got some, all of this stuff here is the Pele. I've got a bunch of different pieces of it. I'll probably use these, cut them down to make the handles for this measuring cup set. So that should be pretty fun, I guess. Boy, that's a big old spider. Die, spider, die. That was gross. Yeah, and I've got a lot of big chunks. So lots of stuff here in the shop for scrap pieces. A lot of scrap cherry, a lot of scrap oak, maple. I have some oak rounds that are firewood outside that I could chop off and turn into bowl blanks if I want to. So we'll see how that works. But well, all of 3 people in here, that's not bad. It's more than I expected. It's about 3 more people than I expected. You're in Mississippi. I am up in Maine. And like I said, when I first started the live, we don't have a Rockler store right nearby. It's about 2.5 hours south, and which is probably good because I would go broke if there was a Rockler store right here in my city. So I went down to Portland, Maine, to get this stuff, and I'm pretty happy with it. It was about $400 worth of stuff, but you know, 200 of it, of course, being the turning tools, and they're running a. I'm not a Rockler sponsored channel, but they are running a Labor Day sale, 30% off, or up to 30% off on pretty much most items. And that includes online stuff too, so go check them out. All right, we got 4 people in here. Who else we got in here right now? I'm looking at my iPad. That's why I'm not looking at the camera. Wife will be coming through here in a minute to go pick the kid up. So let me show you real quick. This is my lathe. I bought the Bauer lathe. I know I'm horrible about upkeep, but I need to probably dust that off a little bit more than I do. I bought that mask on Amazon. That's freaking amazing. It doesn't fog up or anything. I bought the Harbor Freight Chuck. I need to get a new tool rest because that one's actually pretty short. So if you look at the whole length. Yeah, Johnny, I love it because it's my first lathe, so I'm pretty happy with it. And it came with a bunch of accessories and stuff. But bandsaw. Yeah. My dogs just came out. That's cool. Now, Johnny, did you do any kind of modifications to your bower or anything? I haven't really thought of anything I need to do. I do need to get the chock for the tailstock, the drill chock, so that I can hold drill bits and obviously drill out the pen blanks and anything else I'm gonna drill out. Other than that, I bought the lathe, I bought the chock set, and I've been turning, quite a bit of stuff. Some of it's just turned into dowels, which is expected, but going to get the boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want your toys?
Yeah. Showing all my friends. But yeah, hopefully I can get some cameras set up on that and do some good videos of me learning. I'm not going to teach anybody anything, I'll guarantee you that. But I'm going to learn about a bunch. So pretty happy. So you do mostly pens, Johnny. Any experience with bowls or anything like that? Anything bigger? You bought a smaller tool rest. Okay, you had to move up from, done a few bowls. So you had to move up from a 1 MT to 2 MT items? Now, Johnny, do you sell any of those? Do you sell your pens? Do you sell your bowls or really anything else? Anything that you make? Oh, you had a smaller, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, you had a smaller lathe. Yeah, what's your experience with selling stuff in Mississippi? I mean, is there a market for it? Um, do you just do it just for the fun of it and give it away as gifts? We're gonna do just so I can get better at it. I'm gonna start doing some putting together some gift ideas, I guess, for Christmas and upcoming stuff like that. One thing, so we own I call it a promotional items kind of business. We 3D print a bunch of stuff. We can do leather patch hats. We can do T-shirts. We can do a bunch of stuff for businesses so that they can promote themselves. And I've always tried to get in with realtors, and realtors are really hard um, because they want everything to be very personalized. Cutting boards worked for a while, but they're kind of getting away from cutting boards. Realtors are. They really want to customize what they're giving their buying or selling clients. So one thing I had thought about doing was doing some pens and having the realtor give them those at closing to sign their documents with, um, as well as potentially, think about wedding season. Wedding items are huge, whether you're selling or renting items out. uh, Wedding stuff is a huge business. So what about making pens and engraving on them, laser engraving, Mr. Thompson and Mrs. Thompson, so when they sign their marriage license or whatever, it's kind of sort of the way we're going. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. 6 people in here. That's awesome. 6 people in here. Jump on the chat. Let me know what you're thinking. What's going on in your life? Are you a wood turner or not? And if so, what kind of stuff do you do? Yeah, eBay was, I don't know, eBay's kind of funny. We tried to get on Etsy. For some reason, as soon as we signed up on Etsy, they thought we were some kind of bot or something. And we never had luck getting an Etsy store set up. So we went with Shopify, created our own website, and couldn't be happier. I mean, I have a lot of work to do to the website, and but we do have quite a bit of items on there, and so after the CA, okay, and then do you re-CA again over the top of it, or do you just leave it? So you CA, finish it, then engrave it, just leave it alone, or what do you do with that, Johnny? Just leave it. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I might have to. If I ought to just chuck this up, and so this is a piece of ash. I don't have my tape measure right handy. Yeah, 2x2 ash. I might chuck this up and see how those carbide tip. No, I shouldn't. I've been drinking. I've only had a half of a drink, but I will wait until tomorrow to do that. Um, yeah, the polish messes up the engraving. It's funny how it's funny how you can get an engraving. You're like, man, this is gonna look awesome, awesome, and then you do something. It's like, no, that messed up the engraving, or the finish doesn't look right, or of course we do a lot of uh, um, I don't even know what you want to call it. You know, engraving, and then you paint into it, so the paint gets into the engraving, and depending on what type of wood you have, you get a lot of wicking, and is what it is, I guess. But all right, so hey, I appreciate Johnny. I really appreciate you joining in with the chat and making me feel a little bit better about this live with only 5 people in here. I'm going to schedule one for tomorrow, and probably later morning. And I got to go run and get the drill chalk from Harbor Freight if they have one, so I can make some pens. I might try to make a pen. I will definitely, good, bad, or indifferent, when I try to make this bowl out of this piece of maple, I'm going live, and this thing may fly apart and kill me. I guess we'll see, but I will definitely do that on a live. Um, I just don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Never done a bowl, so I guess we'll see. But all right, so thanks for joining in. I really appreciate the back and forth, the contribution, and we'll hope for a better live tomorrow. So, all right, guess I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.